Ah, yes, the United Nations, that so-called unifying international body that was supposed to stop all these global conflicts and, supposed to unite all these nations around the world. It's not going too well, is it? Well, they have decided to remove Russia from the Human Rights Council. Fair enough, because, when you breach human rights, then you're going to have to basically get out. But the problem we have, two issues. One, a bit of peer pressure right now going on. Two, bit of hypocrisy from the so-called United Nations. Because firstly, this only happened because President Zelensky of Ukraine decided to have a very, very angry and it's a kind of a speech to the UN and the Security Council, and he told them, you basically need to abolish yourself, dissolve yourself altogether. Which I was like, oh, Zelensky's saying something I agree with. It's quite good. Yes, go on, abolish, privatize the UN. He was saying that either remove Russia from and punish Russia, especially when it comes to the Human Rights Council. I have no idea why they were involved in the first place, seriously. But, or basically do this. And because of these days, you have to basically have the Ukrainian flag emoji everywhere, and you have to basically go with the crowd. They felt pressured to be like, oh, well, finally, we're going to have to remove Russia. Yeah, it's about time. But there's a big problem I have. If you're going to do that, then why are you still keeping Pakistan involved? Why is Pakistan still involved, considering all the weird stuff that they do to their own people, to their neighbors, and the training grounds that they have to create enemies to come to the West? You do realize Osama was hiding in this country, and the authorities knew about it. Let's move on to the next one. What about India? How are they the beacon of human rights in Asia? Have you seen what they're doing to their workers, to their children, who force them essentially modern slavery to do work, and also, just generally speaking, lack of basic human rights and freedom in India? It doesn't really matter because Modi goes around. They send their leaders around the world, hang out with all the global leaders, and say, "Oh, look at us. We want to be partners with you. Can you buy our Indian products?" Doesn't mean that you're now pro human rights. I think that's bad. Why are they involved? Why is Sudan involved with the Human Rights Council? Of all these countries, Sudan, seriously. And there are so many, there's a big list of existing current members of this council. And I just wonder why the last two I'm going to show you, first is Sudan, and then these guys, Cuba. On what basis did you think it's a good idea to invite Sudan and Cuba to the Human Rights Council? Even Iran is not involved. Even like it's so bad that it's too much for Iran, right? So that's too far. But Cuba and Sudan and Pakistan and India, they're fine. This is my issue. Either sort out your whole organization, abolish it, privatize it, allow, and maybe makes me just basically ask Elon Musk to come and run the UN. That might be a good idea. Privatize the United Nations. The whole thing is ridiculous and nobody has any respect for them. Maybe we need to devolve it and try to create a new, normal international body that is not intrusive in terms of woke stuff and is not completely incompetent when it comes to international conflicts. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to come back. And don't forget to click on the bell next to the subscribe button. That's the only way you get notified. I'm Maya TC and we are the media.